Hey, what's going on to all my Capricorns out there? Please make sure to get the book at Amazon or BarnesandNoble.com. The links will be in the description box below as usual. If you'd like to contact me for personal reading, my email address as well as the prices are also in the description box below. I'm available to do personal readings today. Why not come through, get your reading? So, the ring light broke. So I gotta go ahead and get me a new ring light. That's why it is that things is kind of dimmed out like this. But I do have a light right here, right? One that turns off upon touch, and then it activates also upon touch. So tell me what it is that y'all think of this light anyway, right? You know, trying out some things, trying to step it up for all of y'all. Also, too, remember how it is that I said that I was stepping my game up overall, right? Check out these sheets. These joints, they clean. They're so soft, right? Plush pillow. As soon as you go ahead, you lay your head on it, you want to go to sleep. Memory foam, right? Nothing but the best for y'all. Arrested Kareemspiritworks is a good Kareemspiritworks. So, let's get into it. So, the cards that I come up with for the Capricorns is, haven't been seeing a lot of Capricorn lately. You know, I've been seeing a lot of Cancer crabs, right? Which is your opposite zodiac sign. What's up, Capricorns? Come through, get your reading. So, the cards that I come up with are the Four of Swords, the Eight of Swords, okay? The Fool, right? Let me show it to you. The Fool. You have the Two of Pentacles, Four of Cups, the Hermit. I'm using the Game of Thrones Tarot, by the way. Four of Pentacles, right? So you have the Hermit, Four of Pentacles, right? Two of Wands, Five of Wands, Three of Wands, Page of Wands. Wow. The Moon, Strength, High Priestess, and last but not least, we have the Page of Coins. Okay, so what I'm seeing here for the Capricorns, the Four of Swords, the Eight of Swords, the Fool. This is a situation for a lot of you Capricorns where I'm seeing how a lot of you Capricorns, someone seems to be playing hard to get. Or if not necessarily playing hard to get, this is a person who is essentially in the background. You see this person scarcely. You don't see them quite often. This is someone whom you know. And the Eight of Swords, the Fool, is this decision that you've made, right? That both of those cards are a decision that you've made. Because like a lot of the Capricorns are sitting back thinking to themselves, you know, I'm going to go ahead and go after what it is that I want, right? Because Capricorn, Scorpio, and Aries are pretty much the hunters, right? So they you know, especially when they're interested, they go after things, right? They go after, they want to be the one to interact with and initiate it a lot of the times. So they often find themselves initiating it, I'd say. And it's no different in this current situation. A lot of you Capricorns are thinking about what would happen, what your life would be like if you don't at least give this person a fair shake. The Fool represents how this is you actually saying something to them, right? So the Two of Pentacles and the Four of Cups now is about, you're like, hey, do you want to go ahead and get a drink sometime? Do you want to kick it? Do you want to hang out, right? What are you doing even now? Come over. Why don't we hang out? Why don't we kick it? And the Hermit represents this person wanting this kind of interaction between the two of you for a long time. Okay. This person is glad that you hit them up. Okay. The Four of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles represents this person may not necessarily decide to hang out with you, okay? The Two of Spears and the Five of Wands, right? And even the Three of Spears. things don't necessarily seem to be working out because the Two of Spears, the Two of Spears are just wands, right? That's why I'm referring to them differently. So the Two of Wands, Five of Wands, this is about you and them not necessarily seeing eye to eye. You're going after what it is that you want, but this person is like, even though they really wanted you to actually come up to them and say something, and they've been planning on doing that. They've been planning on having you do that for them. You do the approaching, right? You approach them first. But now that you've actually done that, now it's like, they're like, nah, I'm not really going to do anything. Nah, I'm cool. So obviously, you know, for Capricorns, you know, the Capricorns aren't necessarily in a rage per se, but the Capricorns are like, so you basically just wasting my time. And the Five of Wands represents this person is going to try to make it about everything other than the fact that they've been wasting their time. You know what I mean? So the Three of Spears is like you Capricorn saying to yourselves as well as them, fine, since you want to be wasting all this time, I'll move on. So the Page of Wands represents your decision to actually move on. But the Moon card comes up. Here where the waters get crazy. Here's where the waters get murky, excuse me. And this is why the Capricorns needed to have that tail so that they can navigate through those waters. Because Capricorn is represented as the sea goat. You have the Moon, and then you have the Strength. So this is you wanting to walk off, right? But what you're walking to is the Moon and the Strength. The Moon and the Strength represents them. Once you decide to finally move on, okay, fine. You're not interested, I'm going to leave. The Moon and the Strength, that's when now they want you. That's now when they want to kick up dust. They want to kick up commotions. Why are you leaving? And all this other type of stuff. You know, those types of people who don't necessarily want you when you're around, but at the same time, they want you when you're not there. You got to understand that that's a mental issue. You know, I've met plenty of people like that where, you know, when I'm giving them attention, it's like they're so socially awkward. It's like they put their phone down and walked away from it. You know, everyone, come on now, everybody's experienced where you texting somebody or whatnot, right? Or through some sort of text-based social media, right? Where you speaking to this person and it's like this person here come with the games now, right? It's as if it's this competition to see who can say who can say the least amount of words and ignore the other person the longest, right? You know, and it's like or it's like if the two of y'all are going on hot, y'all are coming in hot, the two of y'all are texting each other back and forth, y'all really like each other, and it's like all of a sudden one of the people put down their phones and like they go on like a vacation and stuff like this away from their phones. What are they doing? You know, and it's the same situation that you have, or the same situation that you have with this person in principle, because this person's so off their rocker. They only want to show you interest now when you Capricorns are moving on. And a lot of you Capricorns just don't have time for those games, because Capricorns is the serious type, right? And in that, when they're ready, they're the serious type. One of the lifelong pursuits of Capricorn is they want to be loved. They want to be cherished. So, yeah, they want to be loved and cherished. Most people don't know that about Capricorns. Most people think that they are just this hard exterior of an individual, and to a certain extent, they're correct in that. but they also have the softer side about them too. Let's not forget the exact opposite sign is Cancer crabs. So there is a mushy side to them, right, where it's softer. And what a lot of people who don't understand Capricorn won't understand is when the Capricorn is in the corridors of their own house, when no one is necessarily looking, Capricorns oftentimes will either cry to themselves, right? Especially if they don't have someone to really love them, especially. And they'll either physically shed a tear or they'll be crying on the inside. But in their own home, Cancer crabs, exact opposite sign, is where a lot of you Cancers, I know, is where it is that a lot of you Cancers will end up breaking down, kind of letting your hair down, your proverbial hair down, so to speak, and will really end up letting go. Like I said, I know. You ain't got to lie to me. I know a lot of y'all's secrets. I know. So, the High Priestess now and the Page of Coins, the High Priestess and the Page of Coins represents how, you know, there's nothing to talk about with this person. They've already been put in, essentially, they're like clothes. They've already been put in dryer. You know what I mean? This relationship is already over. What doesn't come out in the rinse comes out in the wash. Is done. You know what I mean? They've already lost you. So you're just gonna go ahead and ignore them when they're trying to hit you up. You know? And the Page of Coins is you Capricorns thinking to yourselves, look at how all these weirdos is out here. Look at how all these very strange and dysfunctional and unusual people are out here. Let's clarify the High Priestess. Right. I know plenty of people like that myself. You know? I know plenty of people like that myself when you're interacting with someone and you know, they doing all this other stuff, right? They putting down the phone when you text messaging them, right? You know what I mean? They you know, when you being cool with them, you know, it's this ebb and flow. It's this tug of war. Come on, man. That's the reason what led me to start understanding that if relationships don't come about organically, I need to stop forcing it, right? So the High Priest, so to clarify the High Priestess, you have the Four of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and you have the Two of Pentacles. So the Four of Swords, right? Queen of Pentacles. If it's too fast, stop it, rewind it, then see what it is I'm talking about until you get a good picture. Or maybe I'll just slow it down and hold the cards up just a little while longer so you can see, right? So you have the Four of Swords, the Queen of Swords, the Two of Pentacles, right? So to clarify the High Priestess, this is about you knowing what's up. You're waiting, you're seeing what that person was on. The Queen of Swords, you know what's up. You know that this person is going to be wasting your time, and you know this. The Two of Pentacles, again, you're contemplating whether you should, not if you should, but like you're asking a rhetorical question as to why you would go back. It's like why would I go back to hanging out with you again if I already know what it is that you're going to do, you know? So it becomes an ironic question because it's so obvious why you wouldn't go back. But someone would have to be gone, mentally gone, in order for them to be like, oh, well, you know, please, you know. Let's clarify the Strength card. The Strength card in this particular reading represents false bravado. So all that stuff is cap. All of that stuff is theatrics. So you have, to clarify the Strength, you have the King of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, the Three of Swords. Yeah, this person trying to offer you some fake, some fake joint, you know, talking about how they gonna get it together. They didn't understand what it is that they want. Blah, blah, freaking blah. Right? Right, Capricorn? Blah, blah, freaking blah. You've heard it a million times before. You've got the t-shirt. You know what I mean? Maybe you should buy yourself a spare t-shirt and give one to the person who's telling you that crap, because you Capricorns have already been there. Now the Five of Pentacles, right? The Five of Pentacles represents how, you know, they're talking about how they want to give you all this other stuff. But the Three of Swords represents this stuff is just going to lead to more heartbreak, okay? So you shouldn't even really believe this person, or really kind of keep putting any more energy into this kind of person, because this person is already, again, this person keeps showing you why it is that they're untrustworthy in the first place. Like I said before, I've been in those kinds of situations myself where, you know, me and this person exchanging, y'all already know I got a million experiences for y'all. I'm only 29 years old, going on 30 next month, right? August 27th, 1991 is my birthday. But y'all already know that I have many experiences. You know, I'm young, but just as I said before in so many of my videos, I've been in the dating game. I know what I'm talking about, okay? I know what I'm talking about. I may not necessarily have all the answers. I will most definitely admit that. But I have so much experiences. And see, that's another thing too. If people who've been paying attention, I'm one of those type of people who learns from their mistakes. So as I was in the dating arena, I was learning how to make the proper adjustments, right? What Virgos do, to figure out a methodology for myself on how I can date and how the dates or the people who I'm trying to get to know, right, can go smoother. And I've run into this kind of situations many a times, you know. One time that stuck out predominantly the most, because this person end up doing that the most, or doing that the worst, because it was the first time that I ever actually saw this, right? I actually interacted with this type of strategy, right? This type of manipulative tactic was when I was interacting this person. We already exchanged numbers and all of that. And what had happened is that I became real busy with college at the time. So much, I think like a week or something like this went by, maybe even a little bit longer. Like I said, I'm really no, a week. I'm sure if a week went by, but it just goes to show you how serious I am about school. Right, first, I'm a freshman in college. First year, everything is still kind of new to me. The hustling and bustling, the ripping and running around, and the crazy schedule, walking back and forth to school, right? So I actually remembered, like, oh, I got a text such and such. So when I do that, this person's like, okay, let's go ahead and hang out here, right? So this is when I used to ask people out on dates. I don't do that anymore because I'm confused. People are crazy. They say yes, then they flake anyway. So whatever, right? You pretty much lost. They pretty much lost one, because I'm not putting myself through this confusion and craziness. So every single time that I would try to set something up, it happened like 3 times. Oh, I got a stomach ache. I don't want to go ahead and do that. So it came to a point where I asked this person, what is your freaking problem? If you know you don't want to do this, what are you doing? Because you set the standard for how people come talk to you, right? This is game, so listen up. You set the standard for how people approach you, And see, this is the reason why, as I say, the games has to stop. People don't understand. They don't have a choice. They have to stop doing that, whether or not they want to. Because what they're not paying attention is, this is the reason why it is that things end up being so hard for you in the future. Because you keep moving the goalposts as to the levels of respect you treat yourself, as well as the levels of respect you give to other people. An example of this, right, to the people who plays games like that, and I'm chopping it up with y'all and really giving y'all a lot of wisdom, is people who play those types of games. This is the reason why it is. I'm talking about the person who I speak to, or that kind of person, that archetype, right? That archetype. That person's gonna that person's gonna be bumping their head up against the dating ceiling, because this is part of the reason why it is that certain people won't treat you with a certain level of respect and keep you, because when someone is trying to holler at you the right way, the way that you setting it up, or the way that you coming off, is you coming off in the sense of you trying to stop this person from dating you, which you're creating an offshoot or opening another door of. So what it sounds like is, because you keep trying to stop this thing, what it sounds like is you really want someone to do some sort of spontaneous stuff where they go ahead and they text you or they call you and they ask you, what's up? Can you come over? And I have to give just like a little sly smirk because of how dumb it is, right? People running around creating all these issues, but then at the same time, they running around creating all these issues, right, for themselves, but then they complaining about the very same thing that they literally created for themselves, because their ego is too big and they need to come back down off of that high horse and realize that the craziness that they're doing is legitimately crazy. Doesn't even make any sense. And they're the ones ultimately creating their own issues and their own problems. So when you get someone, right, when this person interacts with someone who plays the game and stuff like this, they're going to end up being in a situation where they're going to think of me, of how it is I try to date and court them and get to know them slowly, because there's no rush for me in particular to go and immediately seal the deal. I know for a fact that I can back. I know for a fact that I can back my bedroom skills up. If we was ever, me and a person was ever, to get that far. So there's no necessarily rush for me. You see what I'm saying? And this person is going to think of me when they're interacting with a person who is playing the game with them, right? Shutting all these doors and doing all this other type of goofy stuff. And this person is going to be thinking to themselves, why didn't I just end up picking the person who wanted to hang out and who wasn't interested in playing all these goofy games? So long story short, how it ended up is first the person ended up catching food poisoning, right? This was a few years ago when I had some experience, but I was still learning. I mean, obviously we all always learning, or we should always be learning, but this was when I wasn't hip to that particular type of game, right? That kind of strategy. So I had to get familiar with that. So the first time this person caught food poisoning, the second time supposedly this person had some sort of an emergency. So like I said, it got to a point where I texted this person. I was like, what's up? And this person is like, oh, well, if you can't deal with that, then it is what it is, and da-da-da-da-da. So I said, okay, so this is done then. And this person was like, okay, this is done. Goofy stuff, right? Goofy stuff that doesn't even make any sense. and yet you the one who gave me, we exchanged each other's numbers. What was the point of all of that stuff? You just wanted somebody to, part of it is, well, I ain't gonna say all of it, but part of it is you wanted somebody to be pressed. But all this game plan that that the person thinks that they're doing, bumping their head up against the wall. So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe. Peace.